The U.S. election campaign is in its final weeks, and voters will go to the polls on November 5th to elect the next president. Early voting is already taking place in several states, including battlegrounds such as North Carolina and Georgia. The election was initially a rematch of 2020, but it was upended in July when President Biden ended his campaign and endorsed Vice-President Kamala Harris. As Election Day approaches, we'll monitor the polls and see what effect the campaign has on the White House race. Since entering the race at the end of July, Harris has had a small lead over Trump in the national polling averages, and she remains ahead. Harris saw a bounce in her polling numbers in the first few weeks of her campaign, building a lead of nearly 4 percentage points towards the end of August. However, the numbers have been relatively stable since early September, even after the only debate between the two candidates on September 10th, which nearly 70 million people watched. Right now, the polls are very tight in the 7 states considered battlegrounds in this election, and according to the polling averages, neither candidate has a decisive lead in any of them. In Arizona, Georgia, and North Carolina, the lead has changed hands a few times since the start of August, but Trump has had a small lead for a few weeks now. It's a similar story in Nevada, but with Harris, the candidate is slightly ahead at the moment. In the 3 other states, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, Harris has been leading since the start of August, sometimes by 2 or 3 points, but the polls have tightened significantly in recent days. All 3 of those states had been Democratic strongholds before Trump turned them red in 2016, paving the way for his presidency. Biden retook them in 2020, and if Harris can do the same, she will be on course to win the election. When he dropped out of Pennsylvania, Biden was behind by nearly 4.5 percentage points. Pennsylvania is a key state for both campaigns as it has the highest number of electoral votes of the 7, and therefore, winning it makes it easier to reach the 270 votes needed. At the moment, the polls suggest that Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are within a couple of percentage points of each other in all of the swing states, and when the race is that close, it's very hard to predict winners.